Hi, I'm Erica Flint, and this is Living Hypnotically. Welcome, where we explore the benefits and application of hypnosis with professional hypnotists. And today I have Sheila Wenger with me. And Sheila, you are in Vancouver, Washington, just like killing it with helping so many people these days. Can you tell us a little about how did you get started in hypnosis? Tell us a little of your origin story.
Okay, well, it's quite a fascinating story. I am in school to become a marriage and family therapist after 16 years of being a high school French and English teacher. And I've been wanting to be a therapist pretty much my whole life. I loved teaching, but I was ready to make that change. And so I was studying that. And along my path, I had to learn about hypnosis. And I had to do a big paper and all this research. And it blew my mind. I thought this might be the most underrated form of therapy out there. So I tried it on myself. And I had a moment with my hypnotherapist, who's now a very good friend, where there was just an energy in the room that was palpable. It felt like something profound is happening. I don't know what it is. We finished the hypnosis, and then he said to me, "So maybe you want to buy my practice?" And I don't know, but I think what I do know is that I want to complete my certification and add that to my marriage and family therapy practice. That grew into several conversations that he and I have. He was eager and willing to share his knowledge with me. He's 76 years old. I think he felt a little fatherly connection with
Yeah.
me. And he's going to retire soon. So he was excited to share what he knows. That led me to Cascade Hypnosis Center, where I learned the 5-path technique. And I went there with all the questions in mind. I want to be a really good therapist. I want to help people with the things that drive them crazy, their mental blocks, their emotional hangups, all of that. I wanted to know, is it going to go deep enough and really do that work? And long story short, I left there completely 100% convinced that not only is it just as effective as therapy, it's way more efficient, way faster. And then I did something I would never have done. I opened a practice immediately. I was thinking I would start in a couple more years unless hypnosis really convinced me. And I became so convinced, I found my office. And let's see, about 1 month later, I was practicing in my office after I left the training.
Wow, that's exciting. That's what we want, right? We talk about going from classroom to client because you're fully trained in class. And what we want you to do is just go start helping people. And so you did exactly that. Good job. What was that like, helping your first people?
It was amazing because before I had my office, I started working at home. Um, and it was amazing because I had practiced the techniques and I had seen you do them and other people do them. But when it was really for the first time there with the client to watch this process unfold as I was told that it would, have
Mhm.
them get to unlocking deep pain that's been there and release it. And it was like magic in front of my eyes. And it's such an honor to be able to facilitate that. It's just magical. And it showed me immediately that it worked. I wasn't bumbling through it. I wasn't making mistakes. I was just doing what I was taught very dedicatedly. And I was then getting the results that I was convinced would happen.
Wow. Wow. And your clients are getting the results, so they're happy, right?
The clients are unbelievably happy and they're telling everyone.
Mhm.
Um, I have when we get into some of the results, it blows my mind every day. So that'll be really fun to talk about. My clients are very happy and they're so happy that they can't help tell other people about it.
Well, why don't you tell us now? Let's get into one of these results now. I want to hear it.
Okay. One of them that's like an iconic one I'll never forget is a man who came to me for being more present and improving his golf game. He thinks being more present has a correlation to his golf game. So we did all of the above and we did 2 sessions on that. And the first session, he immediately went to play golf after our session. So
Okay.
4 hours later, I get a text. If that one ball hadn't popped out of that hole, I would have had par for 9 holes in a row. And that's the best golf I've played in years.
After one session with
One
you.
session.
Wow.
That would have been enough, Erica. But a week later, we do our second session.
Okay.
Next day, he goes and plays golf, sends me a video on my phone. He says, I'm not sure yet. I'm going to walk up to the hole, but if that ball is in the hole, it's a hole in one. He got a hole in one.
He got a hole in one? So he shoots his best golf one week, and then the next weekend he gets a hole in one.
You can't make that up. You can't make it up. And he knew it.
Bravo.
He knew I said, I can't take all the credit for that. He's like, well, I'm giving you all the credit for that. Okay, then.
Yeah. Awesome. And that just shows the power not only of hypnosis, but really the power of the mind. That's really what we're highlighting with hypnosis. We're cutting through the BS, right? The limiting beliefs, all of that stuff. So we get to the actual truth. So we get to help our clients shine in a natural way, right?
Yes, absolutely. And that's such a fun example because it's so statistically hard to do. Even more touching are the ones where I have been in this dynamic relationship loop with my partner for years, and suddenly it's unlocked, and those are the really heart-wrenching, there's wonderful ones that that life is changed and they'll never go back. Those mean the most, but that hole in one is just like, I will never forget it.
Yeah, good. Maybe we can get another story in a little bit. I do want to ask you about, you've been doing this for a while now, and who do you like to help? Do you have a group of people that you really love serving and supporting?
I really do. I get a lot of moms in their 40s and 50s, and also not just moms, but wives and women. And they've just done such good work, but they're giving so much away. And they are tired, that life feels a little gray because they have bought the story that they are worthy when they give everything away. And it's not true. You and I both know that. We have got to live our best lives. And when we're deeply fulfilled, it spills over into everything. And I love working with those women because when they start to realize that, it fills them with so much aliveness, so much joy. And it's true. Then it spills out to their family, to their work, everything. And that's one of my favorite transformations to do because it's just so prevalent.
Yeah. I see that a lot because I help a lot of people lose weight. And so there's a kind of a common theme that goes with certain issues, and certainly with weight loss for women, it's the moms the people pleasers, which is what I think you're talking about. I can't be happy unless everyone else in the room is happy. And I need to make sure my kids and my husband and like everybody around me is happy. And they get, and that feels good to see our loved ones happy. Right? Then it becomes a problem. I noticed it. Many clients were just regretful of not following through on some of their own dreams. And now they find themselves 55 years old, 55 years old. All their kids are grown and having lives of their own. And they don't have a hobby, profession, friends. Like they don't have their thing because they had dedicated their whole life to their family pretty much. And there's some resentment about that. And then guess what? They feel guilty for being resentful for it. And so they're stuck in the situation where they feel bad for even thinking along those lines.
Exactly. Yes. And then you've got a secondary problem. Instead of having compassion for, wow, what's really there for me that I need to give my attention, heal that. And then things can really blossom.
Yeah, good. So we often get to see our clients come alive right in front of us.
I do.
That's where, like in my third book, Can You Be a Hypnotist? At the very end, I talk about find the light in your client and associate to the light and treat them only if you can notice that light, right? It's a takeoff of a Wayne Dyer quote, but it reminds me of what you're saying, where your client comes in and you can see this change in her. And the name of your business is Shift Hypnosis, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that term because when we shift, the whole world shifts, but it has to start with us. I have another thing about those clients, the mom clients, is they also feel a little resentful for the fact that they're the one who has to notice also that there's a problem in the relationship. Why can't someone else bring it up? Why can't my partner notice and bring it? But we are the keeper of everybody's well-being. They come in with that too.
Did you have a client who was coming in with that? You mentioned these couples coming back together. So do you have an experience you can share where?
Yeah, this is a couple. She doesn't have children, but she was what I would call an overfunctioner. And that was
Overfunctioner. Okay, it's a new word for me. Thank you. Overfunctioner.
yes, doing more than her share for sure. And
Oh,
because of a childhood pattern that got laid down that convinced her that other people just don't do it. I have to do it. So
yeah.
she was doing more and feeling he was spiraling and not living his best life, not being his best self. But she was the keeper of the well-being. So I said, even though it seems like we might need both of you, we don't need both of you. When you change the relationship with yourself, every other relationship in your life will change.
Yeah.
So what I guided her to do is feel your feelings and don't betray your feelings. So if you walk in and he's playing video games and it's dinner time and no one's thought about dinner and you don't want to make dinner, you don't betray that feeling. That's a real, vital, valid feeling. I don't want to make dinner because this feels not fair.
Yeah.
So I suggested what would feel like more fair to you. How about going to your favorite cafe and taking a book and just enjoying your dinner, or tune in and just whatever you don't betray your feeling that I don't want to make dinner. This is the thing. So then we talked about that and then we put it in this vision in hypnosis when she's all relaxed and then she sees the potential of what's on the other side if she can make this change. And anyway, so she goes home and the next time this happens, might have been even that night, she tuned in with herself. I don't want to make dinner. She took the dogs for a walk. A walk sounds nice. She takes this loop, she rounds the corner and who's there but her partner. He immediately sensed something's off with her. I need to go help. He went the other way, met her, and are you okay? Is everything fine? Attentive. They made dinner together. The next night, he ordered pizza. She loves Canadian bacon and pineapple pizza, but he doesn't. So they always make a compromise. They always get the compromise pizza.
Okay.
He came home with Canadian bacon and pineapple pizza and a heart-shaped pepperoni pizza as well for her. So
awesome. So you empowered her to not betray herself. And that is the truth, always sets us free. So when she didn't do that, her loving partner, right? We don't always have loving partners, but a lot of times we do, noticed it and went to reconcile somehow.
Yes. And that continued where he just began to meet her more over halfway after that.
Beautiful,
Oh,
beautiful, beautiful. Love it. Love it. So what would you want to say to one of your clients or somebody out there thinking, man, maybe I should try hypnosis? What would you want to say to them?
I would say, don't hesitate because what I have seen is that this works for anything that you want in your life. You really want something in your life. This is what unlocks what's in your way so that you can actually have it. And if there's something, usually for a lot of people, there's some pattern like, oh, why does this keep happening to me? I don't feel like I'm contributing to this, but it's just the same thing over and over. The truth is that there is something inside that unconsciously is contributing, and it's not your fault, but it is running. This process unlocks that, gets it out of your way, and something new and wonderful arrives. And it's a new way of living and a new way of being. And then that's not even all, because then once you know that's possible, what happens next is what else is possible?
Right.
Yeah, if that's possible, and I've been doing that for so long, now new ideas, new creativity, new dreams, this is never going to stop.
Right.
So I would just say it's worth an hour and a half of your time to find out what this can do for you. And you'll find out after one session that you do this.
Awesome. Awesome. How about a tool or technique, something that you've been doing hypnosis for a little while now? Do you have something that you tend to find a lot of your clients get relief from, or something that you regularly do in your practice?
Yes, I do. And it comes up a lot. When I spend a good amount of time in the pre-talk, and I really make sure that I get to the exact way that this client is experiencing what they're experiencing and exactly what they want out of their life. That's once they get past this thing, what they really want. And I have to get to the point where I feel it as if I'm living their life.
Right.
And that is my favorite technique, because if I do that, then what I can do in hypnosis is I can paint pictures for them, which amplifies what kind of life what life will feel like and look like. And I will take specific examples for things they deeply want. Maybe the way that their children are looking at them. There's a new look in their eye. Now they're not resisting, they're noticing and listening and appreciating. There's even a little bit of admiration going on. Whatever is really important to them, they see that this is all possible. And when they visualize it without the prefrontal cortex getting in the way and interrupting and saying, well, it didn't happen last week, it's not there. So they can just enjoy the vision of it, the feeling of it, and then amplify how that feels in their body. And they want it so much that whatever little obstacle was in their way, the little thing we're asking them to do that's a little bit new, it's just, oh, I'm just leaping right over that because I want this really badly. And that's not that big of a deal anymore. In fact, right before our interview, I just got a text from a gal I saw last week. And she said, oh, just by the way, I wanted to let you know I worked out 5 of the 7 days this week because I wanted to, because I jumped out of bed, not because I coerced myself. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Beautiful. It's just amazing. When we can give our clients the expectation of success, right? You've basically given the brain a more powerful story to live into than the worst case scenario or the destruction or whatever it is that they had been experiencing, right? So now when you go through this in hypnosis and they really get all of those feelings, the brain really gets on board. Like, yes, I do want that. And that's what allows us to skip over those problems, because those problems they seem like little pebbles on the road with hypnosis rather than giant boulders or
exactly that. And it's amazing. I've even found that now that I see this every day, my own new possibilities are coming in all the time. Oh, I just thought of that. That's probably possible.
Nice. That brings me to my next question for you. How do you live hypnotically? How do you incorporate hypnosis into your everyday?
I would say that it is with me every single day. I have learned, because we're so trained to rely on our prefrontal cortex for everything, but that is not our entire. It's not. And there's a great deal of power in using the other parts of our mind. And for me, that's intuition. That is the state of dreaming is different than just planning. And so I wake up in the morning and I start my self hypnosis immediately. Then I check in with my state, and I don't begin my day until I'm in the right. And that feels like people could call it aligned, in the flow.
Yep.
But I know the difference very well now because I tune in with it every single day. And even then before a client, I always make sure that I'm there too. So that's with me all the time. And another way is that I'm deeply aware now, having practiced this, that my own feelings, whatever they are valid. They are perfect. They are telling me something. So I tune in. So if I'm feeling, yesterday I was a little bit low energy and I haven't been like that. Like, what's this? Okay. I'm going to just take it a little slower. I guess I need to maybe slow down and honor my own feelings, whatever they are, because I know that there's power in magic in that. And that's what I have all my clients do, because that's my relationship with myself, and my life springs from that.
Yeah. Wow. Beautiful. It sounds like you're modeling living hypnotically for your clients. You're doing it yourself. It's easier to teach when we're doing it ourselves and having our own experiences in hypnosis, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
As a hypnotist, what changed for you? You didn't know hypnosis at some point, learned a little hypnosis, got really inspired, had a session with somebody really inspired, and now you've been a professional for a certain period of time. A lot of our clients have misperceptions about hypnosis. So what did you think about hypnosis before versus what you know now as a professional hypnotist?
Okay. I just didn't know much about it. I didn't even know if it still existed. Do people even still do that? a little bit like, it's kind of weird. And what is that still a thing? And now, gosh, it's the best way for me to describe it is it's is therapy on steroids. It's just so much faster. It's a change process that's so much faster. And I really believe that it unlocks our potential forever. That sounds like such a big statement. I am living it every day. And I know how, for example, I've had a sugar thing in my life. And I've never really entertained completely eliminating processed sugar in my life. I'm like, oh, it's fine to have a little. No, recently that became an idea, a possibility to just not have it anymore. I think it's not helping me. I think I'm a little addicted in a way, and I don't want to be an
Yeah.
addict in any way. And I just stopped, and it's been easy. So it makes anything that you really want possible. And then that possibility moves to another possibility. So it just keeps.
We get the upward spiral. That's what we want. The upward spiral of hypnosis.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I believe it is now compared to what I used to.
That's just amazing. I'm just so proud of so many people that you've helped. And you had mentioned earlier, and I like to ask how you got your first clients. And I think your story is just so fantastic because a lot of people coming into this business and a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of coaches, hypnotherapists really get nervous or worried about growing their practice and getting their first clients. I just like to tell everybody, live hypnotically and talk about what you do. And your clients will come in. Now we use Google quite a bit and YouTube now too, but at the beginning,
Yeah.
I was mostly talking about what I do. So why don't you share with how that went for you? How did you get your first clients?
It blew my mind. I'll tell you. I knew when I was ready that I was going to tell all my close people that we're going to do this. But all I did was I shared my story. One day I wake up pretty early, and I woke up at 5 a.m. and I thought, I just have to tell this story. It's really something. And I just summarized how I had found hypnotherapy in my marriage and family therapy program, and what I had told you earlier. I went
Yeah.
through the process and I put it on Facebook. And that's honestly the only thing I've done. And I had people reach out to me immediately from my teaching years, from my parent coaching years, from all the different parts of my volleyball players I played with in college, in high school. And people reached out, and it just did not take long at all before my schedule was pretty full. And then now I'm not really posting on Facebook very much, every once in a while, but those people are telling their people. And so,
You
yeah,
got a referrals happening. Good job.
it is happening.
Bravo. Bravo. And referrals happen when our clients get results. And so it is amazing to be doing something where your clients are getting a better life.
It is amazing. I walk in my office so happy to be here every day. It is a dream come true for me.
Yeah. You're an amazing hypnotist. I love your energy and philosophy on things. And what would you say to somebody, Sheila, that might be thinking about becoming a hypnotist?
Oh, I would say that if you are a person who genuinely cares about helping people, and that's what you're here to do, you want to serve people on their path for their best life. And if you have that intention inside of you, and I'll add a couple things. If you're a really good listener, it's really important. Got to be a really good listener. And if you have those two things, then you should run, not walk, to go become, because not only for you, but because we are in a time and place where people are hungry and open for help, and then not being able to find it. Therapists are booked, and people are on waiting lists, and they're on waiting lists for things you shouldn't be on a waiting list for. They need support and help and guidance. And people tend to think automatically more about therapy. This does therapy. It does it just a little faster, in my opinion. And so I think what's going to happen is this is going to grow. It's going to get the attention it's always deserved. People are more open-minded now to trying new things. And so I think it's a really good time to become a hypnotherapist. It's a
I do
great.
too. It's exciting. There's so many opportunities. And you're right. It is super effective technique. And as hypnotists, we don't, in general, we don't work on diagnosable conditions. We don't have to have certain the DSM memorized. We're not diagnosing people. We're not coming up with treatment plans, any of that. Our clients have the answers inside. So we create the environment where they feel safe and then they share with us. So I'm just curious what you think, having seen both sides, what in particular about hypnosis do you think makes it faster than regular therapy?
Great question. And this is exactly what it is. If I'm working with someone in therapy, they are coming to me with their frontal lobe involved, their prefrontal cortex involved. So I have to work really hard to get their defenses down enough for them to even sense a feeling they have. But they might have covered up their feelings for so long that we do session after session on just getting to you have a feeling. But
Okay.
in hypnosis, when the prefrontal cortex relaxes, and now we have access to the subconscious, which is so often more powerful than anyone's front thinking brain, they don't have to worry about being vulnerable. The subconscious does the work. It will bring up what it needs to address and what it's ready for. It knows better than we do.
Yeah.
So if it's not ready for the biggest thing, it'll bring the medium-sized thing. And then we have great results from that, and they feel better, and then they come back later a little bit maybe, and now they're ready for a little bit more. It's doing the work, and so it makes it a lot faster.
Yeah. It just reminded me of just getting in flow. And we always talk about don't swim against the current, kind of getting in flow. And hypnosis, like you said, the prefrontal lobe. And another way that people talk about it is depotentiating the left hemisphere or the critical factor, right? That's what we're talking about here, right?
Yes.
We're kind of getting rid of that part of the mind. And it almost seems like we're allowing, once we get rid of the judge, that critical part, it's almost like the mind can get back into that flow and just allow whatever it is they feel safe. So they just allow what has been needing to come up.
That is right. Yeah. And it's just easier for them, frankly. It's just
Yeah.
easier for them. It's not such hard work for them.
Okay, good, good. That's just fantastic. Thank you so much, Sheila, for all that you do. What else would you like to say to your potential clients, your fans, all your folks out there?
I would just tell you, if you have been thinking about doing it, try a session. I'll give you a little discount if you want to try it out and you're on the fence. You think, I'll do it. I'll give you $25 off a free session or a session if you cite this interview. And you have nothing to lose. You just have nothing to lose. It's interesting. It's kind of fascinating. You could find out if it works. And I'm so confident that it will, that you will leave my office better than you felt when you walked in.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that discount, Sheila. So 25% off if they mention Living Hypnotically when they contact you. And how do they contact you?
Okay. Best way is by email. So my email, Sheila at shifthypnosis.org. Not com.
Okay. We'll make sure to put that up on screen. So Sheila at shifthypnosis.org. Contact you and get 25% off the session by mentioning this program. Thank you so much for offering that discount to our listeners. And yes, Sheila, before we close here today, I'd like to mention.
Yeah, one last thought is that I think the main ingredient that we all really need as hypnotists is our client to want something better. And that's really all. They might not believe it's possible. We don't need them to. They might not know how it's going to be possible. We don't need them to. All we need is enough clarity about, I really want this and I haven't been able to get it. That's all we need. And hypnosis will help with the rest.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us here today, Sheila.
Thank you, Erica.
Yeah, I'm Erica Flint. Thanks for joining us at Living Hypnotically, where we love to live better lives with the power of hypnosis. And we love to talk about the application of hypnosis with professional hypnotists. If you haven't gotten my book, Can You Be a Hypnotist? Go grab a copy of it now, canyoubeahypnotist.com. And I look forward to seeing you in the hypnosis classroom. Bye for now. Get the book, Start Hypnotizing. Get the book and first hypnosis lesson free now at canyoubeahypnotist.com.